I'm just so confused.
Over in America.
Southern tip of Manhattan, you're looking at the World Trade Center. We understand
On why he would spread such lies about me. And
There have also been shootings, and a large number of people have been taken hostage.
what I did to deserve this.
So who is Gremlin Kaja? Well, on the surface, she's a part-time streamer and artist who has done commissions for the biggest YouTubers on the platform, but what is she really? During this video, we're going to be talking about all of her oopsie-doopsies, split into chapters, and conducting multiple interviews with people who are close to her in attempts to expose her for all of her sins she has committed, and hopefully cancel Kaja. So let's begin. Racism. Oh boy, where to start? Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. The year is 1619, and the slave trade in America has begun. Families are ripped apart, and most parents can only stand and watch as their kids go shipped off and never to be seen again. This was a very dark and cold moment in American history. What's even more cold was the person behind it all. After this shocking image got leaked, Kaja, clearly seen in the photo, not only taking part but managing the entire event. And let me just say, since this image leaked, she has been quiet on all her platforms. But is that the only racist thing she's done? There are even more images that have surfaced, proving that she was maybe not the owner, but at least associated with, you guessed it, the KKK. Now, what is my evidence for this? Well, you see, what does Kaja's name begin with? That's right, a K. And what K plus 2 makes a racist group? You guessed it, the KKK. There's also this image I found, but you know, that's kind of just I think the more convincing part is the fact that her name begins with a K. And that's not the point. Also, might I mention, whether she'll admit this or not, when she was in her studies, she was in a group called the KKK, a friend group, she says, a place to socialise, she says. But is that what it really was? And now it turns out that Kaja does not just hate coloured people. No, it's even worse than that. She also hates Asians. Check out this leaked clip of her admitting it and being exposed. And tell me what you think.
It's Wong. Wong.
Wow, that's
my
racist.
racism.
Against Asian people.
Kai, why do you hate Asian people?
I don't.
That's actually factual. She told me multiple times that she does.
I have never.
Yeah, you said Asian people kinda ugly.
Okay. So
Now, if this still wasn't enough for you, please listen with an open mind for an interview of one of her sons talking about his experiences and what he's seen. And please make sure to keep some tissues with you, because this can get quite heavy. So I'm joined here with Harry, who was the son of Kaja, I believe.
Yeah, that is true, that is true.
So Harry, obviously, you've known her for a long time. She's probably done things in front of you that you might not have agreed with.
Oh yeah, there's been some hardships in this in my time, you could say.
As there always is. So, my first question to you: was
Mhm.
Kaya ever racist towards you or anyone you know?
Personally, not to me, as I assume we share the same, as being her son. But there was a lot of the Norwegians are better than the British kind of talk, So I guess that kind of tackles a bit of the subject.
Was there
Not
anything
really.
said about minorities, people of colour, for example? It's okay,
Sorry.
take your time. I understand that this can be a hard subject to talk about.
It's it's a very struggling time for me right now. As you know, we've stated she's my mother, and growing up in that household, you are brought up with a few terms, you would say. A few phrases being I obviously won't repeat here, but yes.
So there were racist remarks made against people of colour.
I believe so sometimes, maybe.
Okay, that's good to know. My second question is, was she ever abusive?
So, my experience with the Kaya Rocks, if growing up, me and my brother, the Jake man himself, if we didn't finish our greens on our plates, we'd get a swift, back of the hand. But a lot of the times in video games, there'd be a lot of okay like moments. But as soon as we fuck up, as soon as a one little whoopsie doo, team killing is a big thing. I assume everyone knows the term griefing in Minecraft.
Yeah, we
Man.
both know that term. We're all gamers here.
Well, there's a hard time building a house. 2 weeks of real work and time and effort put into it. Just to log on one day for it all to be gone, all to be burnt away. And she told me that was tough love and it was to build character, but it hurt, man. It really did hurt.
Did she ever strike you?
Yes. Things did get heated. And, maybe I deserved it. Who knows? Denial, maybe. Cope. But, she did make her way to me IRL. Hands were thrown. I did wake up a week later in the hospital. That's another question.
So she actually sent you to hospital?
It's taken out. Might have been unrelated. We got a few health hiccups here and there, but...
Did she ever use a weapon to assault you?
Does the family bat count as a weapon?
Yes.
Then yes, yeah.
Did you at any point ever feel that your life was in danger?
Is this going to be seen by the public? My life might still be in danger.
But do you understand that we're going to go through great lengths to make sure she's locked up before that can ever happen?
Okay, that's good. That's good to know.
Okay. How dangerous was Kaya?
You say was as in past tense.
How dangerous is she now?
You guys don't even know. Do you know, like, Godzilla and them Godzilla movies?
Them Godzilla movies, yeah.
Yeah, them Godzilla worse.
Worse than Godzilla.
What that poor town of the New York. Worse.
And just to clarify, Godzilla's killed probably millions.
Oh, most likely.
Potentially billions, actually, in the later movies.
Yeah.
And you're saying Kaya was more dangerous than that, or is more dangerous than that? Sorry.
With my fears and childhood trauma, I would believe so. In my opinion.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you. It means a lot to know that.
My final question for you, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any good in Kaya whatsoever?
Yeah.
And that's all we have time for. I thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and your experience with her. I'm sure at some point in the future we'll have to do this again, maybe when she's locked up, get your final thoughts on it. Yeah, okay, Harry. We'll talk later.
Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity to speak my truth.
No problem, Harry. No problem. Okay, so in conclusion, Kaja's a racist, abusive piece of shit. Moving on to the next point. Some good old sexism. Who doesn't love sexism? So let's talk about some sexism real quick. The year is 1848. It was a hard time for women, as they literally fought for their independence and human rights. Kaja, on the other hand, had something else to say. She believed the wives belonged to their husbands, and they were merely objects instead of actual human beings. Now obviously, as we know, history ended up with women winning the battle for the right to vote. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we're not going to talk about in this video. But what did Kaja do after this? Did she change her stance and move on in the right direction of history? No. She continued her evil plan to revoke women of their rights, and to further prove this, we now have an interview with one of her wives to speak on her experiences. Okay, so now we're with one of the alleged wives of Kaja, Kinga. So, are you Kaja's wife?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you known her?
Ooh, since high school. Like 8 years?
8 years.
Ish, yeah.
You must have seen a lot of wrongdoings in that time.
I have.
Did she ever abuse you?
Oh wow, you're going straight to it, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jacob, this is hard for me to talk about.
It's just to get justice.
It's just so hard to open up, you know, about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
The answer is yes. Yes, she has.
Do you feel in danger right now, talking about this?
Honestly, given that I'm seeing her tomorrow, yes, I feel a little bit endangered.
Okay, did she ever tell you not to vote because you're a woman?
Oh yeah, she did.
She did do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she ever treat you differently simply because of your gender?
Oh, all the time.
All the time. And one final question. Did she ever say anything negative about Barbie or Disney movies?
Yeah, no, she hates Barbie. She thinks it's stupid. And for girls. And girls are bad, in her opinion, so.
Truly despicable from her. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us.
Anytime, dog.
Okay, so in conclusion, Kaja's a sexist piece of shit. Moving on. So I think so far it's pretty safe to say that Kaja isn't really the most accepting person when it comes to oppressed people fighting for their rights. Like for example when the gay people fought for their right to be married, which only got passed on the 26th of June 2015 by the way, very late. She, on the other hand, during those protests, was in the crowds calling for them to, and I quote, go back to gayland. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, but plebe, it was a different time back then. Should we really hold people accountable for their views on something that happened almost 10 years ago? Well, that's an interesting discussion. In fact, it's so interesting, I'm not even going to talk about it. And all I'm interested in is going into the next subject now. Okay, so this is where I start dropping the big bombs. Get it? So, for this one, we have fought so much to finally expose her. She first tried to cancel me on Twitter, which, you know, didn't work. Then she tried to file legal action in that famous court case, which again didn't work. She ended up losing, had to pay a massive fee, omega lol. And then she even tried faking her own death. But she forgot one detail. I am the plebe, the oracle, the mastermind, and nothing can remain hidden from me, Kaja. I managed to find bank documents of her purchasing Sims packs, and that was all the proof I needed to confirm that she is indeed alive. Just look at this leaked photo from the FBI showing her flying on the planes that struck the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001. And then Look at this image of her holding a meeting with ISIS, plotting to destroy more innocent lives and family, just to fuel her hateful agenda. And wait, what's this? A photo showing her trying to invite members from both Hamas and ISIS to join a lethal company bro moment session. How odd. Now, I'm no expert on morality, guys, but I think you have to be a pretty fucked up person to actually agree with beheading babies and elderly people and disabled people. She's absolutely insane. I cannot believe she's gone away with this, and I will make sure that Obama nukes her. However, we've talked a lot about her negativity in this video, but I think this video could do with some positivity. She has been spreading all this propaganda, trying to spew such hatred upon everyone. But there's been one hero from the very beginning who saw through her bullshit, and that hero is Pyro. Pyro has been in the comments fighting constantly and backing me up when I needed him the most. And this hero deserves to be both mentioned and remembered, as he is the one who first fought back against her fascism. And for this, Pyro, we thank you. So far, we've done a bit of talking about current day issues such as her homophobia and her terrorism, but in my opinion, we're not done talking about her past. For example, does anyone actually know her political stances during the years of 1939 and 1945? Because I'm sure I do. Which coincidentally is when Germany decided to take over the world, or at least Europe. And might I mention that these are the people who killed millions and caused gruesome war crimes, killing civilians and throwing Jews into camps to either die or work themselves to death. And who was at the front supporting Hitler and fighting for his fascist ideas? That's right, you guessed it, Kaja was. She assisted one of the worst people in history to annihilate millions of young soldiers and innocent bystanders, all for her sick goals of one day building a world without any minorities in it. Little did she know, we found her hidden photos though, and she'll be held accountable for her war crimes. This wasn't the last war, however, she found herself involved in, as in the year 2024, as many of you probably know, the Gnomes and the Knights found themselves at war once again. This has been an ongoing political issue for generations, and now she decides to get involved with her little knowledge on the subject. Innocent fairies were killed in the crossfire, and dragons were captured and enslaved, all for the sake of blood being spilled. Kaja aligned herself with the Gnomes, and is currently trying to take down the Knights once and for all, which could be linked to her building a Nazi empire, I'm just saying. Now, what do I think about the subject? Now, I've tried to remain neutral, but the Knights, they need help, guys. The Knights are in a losing war right now. All the mystical creatures are falling for the false propaganda, and they are, unknowingly, I would hope, aligning themselves with, you guessed it, Nazi, fascist propaganda. So in conclusion, guys, don't be a gnome and watch as she enslaves and kills all mythical creatures just for her sick, twisted goals. Instead, be a Chad and night out. So we talked earlier about how Kaja abused her son and how she's been kind of emotionally abusing her wife, but this is quite a sensitive subject, and you're about to hear some real impactful stuff from an interview that's coming up. Now, I think it's important to believe all victims and to send your thoughts and prayers to help them recover from their trauma. So for the interview that's coming up, guys, please just listen to the victims and don't try and say it's lies. Don't believe Kaja's bullshit. Just believe victims. Okay, so now I'm joined by Kaja's current husband. Is that correct? You're her current husband?
Yeah, she's had many before me.
Okay, so how long have you been married to Kaja?
Just a few months now, maybe half a year.
That's pretty much eternity.
Yeah, I think I'm the longest lasting husband. I think usually they only make it a couple of weeks before they mysteriously vanish.
Has that happened a lot?
I mean, she told me I'm the 73rd, and I don't know where the other 72 went. No one's heard from them, some of them in years.
That's interesting. We'll definitely have to look into that at some point. But here's something. Let's just get straight to the point. Did she ever abuse you physically?
Every day.
Every
She,
day?
I, she makes me wear makeup to hide the bruises, and she doesn't let me go to the doctors if I break a bone, or if she breaks a bone, because she doesn't want anyone to know, and she does this thing with lollipop sticks, like you do for a bird. She does that, and it's not good. It doesn't help.
That sounds horrifying. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Thanks.
Did she ever make you feel as though your life was in danger?
A couple times. Like, she mentioned divorce, and then she looked at me, and she said she's never been divorced before, but she's had 72 husbands. And she said she didn't want to start now.
Oh God.
And she went into the kitchen for about, I don't know what she did in there. I heard some noise, a lot of crashing. I swear to God, I heard something being sharpened, and then it stopped, and she came back fine. But I don't know. I think she was ready to look for her 74th.
That sounds horrifying. So I guess my next question, you've already answered it. Do you still feel in danger to this day?
Yeah, I think I'm actually walking a tightrope. I can't walk away. She won't let me. She's put this GPS device inside me. It's implanted in my spine, so I can't even remove it because I managed to get seen by a doctor once, and they told me that if they did remove it, it would sever the whole feeling below my body.
So she's pretty skilled then. She's definitely done this before.
Yeah, and I haven't heard or seen that doctor since. I think she knew.
Oh God. So, how would you describe Kaja as a person?
Well, when I first met her, she was so bubbly and cheerful, but then we got married, then she became my wife, and it just changed. She became so distant, cold, and possessive. Always keeping sharp things nearby, giving me these looks if I ever did something slightly wrong. I feel like I'm walking on a sheet of ice above a freezing lake, and the slightest crack will send me through.
That is some powerful stuff. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go too much into the details because this is very traumatizing, but I do have one final question for you, kind of keeping it on a higher note. What would you say to all the millions of people that are going to see this and feel inspired by your story and coming out and standing up to your abusers?
For the love of God, don't become the 74th.
You heard it here, guys. Don't become the 74th. Thank you for joining me. As you all heard, that was absolutely appalling. Her actions were appalling. This victim, thank you for your bravery in coming forward. And now, before we get on to the final segment, which is my opinion, I decided that it would only be fair to give her a chance to defend herself. And now, guys, enjoy this final debate from Kaja herself. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to try and keep this interview fairly balanced. So, first question. Why are you such an awful person?
What the I would like to think I'm not. I'm just simply not.
Okay, interesting. How do you feel about your political ties being pulled up between the years of 1939 and 1945?
All fabricated. I wasn't even alive. Case sold.
You say?
Case sold. I wasn't even born.
Okay, so there is a rumoured story about you being in a friend group during your studies. Would you like to comment on what that friend group was called?
Has Kinga spilled the beans about the KKK?
No, you did. I just remembered.
Oh shit!
Okay, wait. Say it again. Your comments on your old KKK group from your studies.
It's it's just funny, you know, like, because it stands for Kongsberg Copper Club, which is, you know, the place, the name of the place, and then Cup Club. And in Norwegian, all those three things start with a K. And we were a bit edgy back in the day, and we were like, ooh, hoo, hoo, KKK.
So you were in a club called the KKK?
Well, we might have been.
Okay, that's all I need. That's all I need.
But it's not the KKK, you know? It's not, I mean, we're not going around with pointy white hats.
That's all I needed. So, would you consider
How would
yourself
it-
a dangerous person?
No.
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 Okay. So you recently did an interview with one of your sons, Kaja, and he had this to say. We're going to play the clip now.
Okay.
Did she ever strike you?
Yes.
What are your comments on that, Kaja?
I can't believe my own son will make up such lies.
So you're saying that this abuse victim is lying? Is that your stance?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we also did an interview with your wife, and she had this to say about you. Do you feel in danger right now talking about this?
Honestly, given that I'm seeing her tomorrow, yes, I feel a little bit endangered.
What are your comments on that one, Kaja?
I can't believe that. I cannot believe it. It's all lies.
It's a lie. You're saying that that's also a lie.
Lies. I would never.
Okay, well, we also did an interview with your current husband, and he had this to say about you.
Yeah, I think I'm the longest lasting husband. I think usually they only make it a couple of weeks before they mysteriously vanish.
Has that happened a lot?
I mean, she told me I'm the 73rd, and I don't know where the other 72 went.
So where did the other 72 husbands go, Kaja? Where are they?
This is lies.
This
He's
is lies?
husband number one. He's husband number one. It's I have not had 72 husbands before him.
Again, so you're claiming all of these things are just lies by the people surrounded by you.
Yeah. They're all lies.
Okay. We'll just move on, I guess. If you want to lie, you can lie. So next question. Why did you attempt to sue me last year?
Oh, wait, I'm gonna go back inside because you're cutting off. I think the internet is being a bit funny outside.
Oh, how convenient. Now it starts to cut off, huh?
The question? Oh, what were we talking about?
Why did you attempt to sue me last year?
Defamation.
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 How does it feel knowing you lost that court case?
I won that court case.
You literally lost that court case.
I literally won that court case, and I will have another one once this video is out.
So you're threatening to sue me for telling the truth, is that what I'm hearing?
You say it's the truth, but I know it's the lie. You know?
Well,
Yo, quick editor's note. You need to cut out the chuckling that you're doing because you're smiling ear to ear like a cutie right now. I can hear you smiling.
shut the fuck up. Shut
I have
the
the
fuck
cam
up.
on. I have the cam on. What do you mean?
Don't leave this in the video, please. I don't wanna have anything to do with this.
Okay. Okay. Kaja, what about the accusations of you eating puppies?
No, we're not bringing up this one again.
That one's actually true.
What?
I have a clip of you admitting you do it.
No, I fabricated it. Edited AI, you know,
Did
those
you say
AI
you
voices?
you fabricated, did you say?
No. I did not. But someone else did.
Someone else did.
Yeah.
It's clipped directly from your stream.
It is fake.
Okay. Do you feel sympathy for others?
Yeah, obviously.
Then why do you
I'm not
abuse so many
a horrible
people?
Why do I what?
Why do you abuse so many people then?
I don't abuse anyone.
Okay, and final question. Will you ever stop all of this and just admit to the terrible things you've done?
I have nothing to admit to, so I don't know what I would stop, you know?
Okay, that's all I needed. Kaja. Looks like we've reached the end of the road now. In this video I have exposed you for your racism, your sexism, your homophobia, your terrorism. I have exposed you for literally everything. All of your victims have come forward, all of the abuse has been spoken about, and now what do you have? Nothing! You've got nobody else to help you. No other calls to make, no possible moves. This is the end of you and your career. The Gnome Army will slowly fall now that their number one leader and supporter is dead, buried in the ground and never to be seen again. You have been an SR terrorist, one-tricking Moira in my competitive games, fucking throwing all of my siege games, and now it's time for you to finally die. I have waited so many months for this. I have fought so hard for this. And now, the evidence is all out there in the public with nothing you can do about it. And now, Kaja, what do I say to you? I say, goodbye. Yeah, fuck you, Kaja. You really think I was gonna let you get away with that Overwatch tier list?
No, okay, well I guess I'm just a puppy eater.